Here at the Weather Channel, you hear us refer to the jet stream practically every single day. That's because it has a significant impact on our weather. Dennis Smith has more.
A blanket of snow covers the areas of the Northeast as a winter storm arrives. One of the reasons, the jet stream has moved to its winter position. Cold air funnels southward as a jet stream slides south. The storm track moves along the jet stream. In the winter, storm tracks sweep across the country, bringing cold air and storms to many areas. In the summer, the jet stream moves to the north, so more warm air is pulled up into the northern U.S. Storm tracks follow the jet stream as it moves. The movement of the jet stream coincides with the change of seasons. Dennis Smith, the Weather Channel.
Well, let's check today's focus, and of course we're talking about the jet stream and a cross-section, a slice through the jet stream, sort of goes around like a band around the Earth, 5 to 7 miles, places where you might find it. That's about 26 to about 37,000 feet. And actually, worldwide, the jet stream averages about 35,000 feet, but it can be as low as close to 20,000 feet in the winter and up toward the poles, and as high as 50,000 feet right around the equator. But this is a pretty good average, the jet stream being a zone of very high-speed winds twirling around the Earth, and sometimes connected all the way around the Earth, sometimes breaking up into what we call jetlets sometimes. The average jet stream in the summer is pretty far north, the cold air up near the Arctic Circle and the warm air a lot further toward the south. If the jet stream is up in this position, you'll have pretty tropical air even in southern Canada and down into the tropics, of course. Now in the winter, the jet stream will dip down, sometimes a trough curling in the northwest, maybe in the Ohio Valley, often storms following the jet stream where these troughs are located. And the warm air then confined to the Mexican border areas and the Gulf of Mexico. The jet stream in that case would be waving somewhere through the middle of the nation. So as you might suspect, the jet stream then separates your warmer and your colder air masses. The jet stream in the upper atmosphere actually lies right along a frontal zone, a thermal ribbon of colder and warmer temperatures right packed close to each other. Another aspect of the jet stream is the way it affects weather. And in fact, if you're in a trough, looking at a trough, which means dipping down to the south, counterclockwise rotation, a ridge would be a clockwise rotation and upward. On this side of the trough, the east side, where the jet stream is out of the southwest, that's where you usually get your clouds and your rain. But on the west side of the trough, and even in the middle sometimes, your drier weather will exist. Types of jet streams, well, we've got them sort of coming in a counterclockwise formation. The polar jet stream further north, the subtropical jet stream, is actually a stronger jet stream in terms of wind, and that's going from southwest to northeast. And there you have it in a nutshell on jet streams.
The jet stream was very stubborn across the Midwest last summer. That brought heavy rain and plenty of misery for the residents of those states. We take a look back now at last summer, summer of '93.
The flooding in the Midwest captured most of the headlines for the biggest weather event of the summer. The mighty Mississippi River overflowed its banks from Wisconsin to Missouri. The reason was that the ground was already saturated from increased precipitation from July of '92 to March of '93. Then warm, moist, unstable air from the Gulf of Mexico met up with very cool air from the northwestern U.S. Along the battle zone between the two, the jet stream was quite strong for summer and remained in the same location. The result? Round after round of thunderstorms. Over 3 feet of rain fell in parts of Iowa from June to August. Damage assessments are incomplete from the flood, but unofficially 47 people were killed and damage estimates exceed $11 billion. As flooding affected the Midwest, the story in the southeast and parts of Texas was the heat and drought. Greenville, South Carolina had only 1.7 inches of rain from June to August, compared with a normal of 13 inches. Atlanta had its hottest July on record. San Antonio and Austin, Texas reported no measurable rain for a record 63 and 65 days respectively. Residents of the Northwest wondered what had happened to summer, as temperature readings were well below normal. Montana recorded its coldest August on record, and Butte, Montana had snowfall on August the 26th.
During the winter months, a low-pressure system and the jet stream combine to form a certain type of storm along the northeast coast. The Weather Channel's Lisa Spencer explains.
The Northeast during the winter months can be hit by devastating storms. These storms are called nor'easters because of the wind direction. The snow and wind they bring can cripple large metropolitan areas. The storms normally develop as low-pressure areas off the North Carolina coast. The low moves to the north over the warmer waters of the Gulf Stream. The low pulls with it warmer air loaded with moisture from the subtropics. At the same time, cold Arctic air is funneling down from Canada. As the two air masses clash, the storm intensifies rapidly. Because of the storm's location, the winds blow from the northeast across the region, hence the term nor'easter. The storm usually parallels the coast and at times can deposit very large amounts of snow and hurricane-force winds. The blizzard of '78 will be long remembered in the Northeast as 27 inches fell in Boston, bringing the city to a grinding halt. That storm is regarded as one of the most intense of the century, a true nor'easter. Jill Brown, the Weather Channel. Alrighty, let's take a closer look at the jet stream and some current weather to deal with that. First off, I want to show you a frame that shows us the Pacific. Now, of course, here's the lower 48. Here's California and Alaska. A lot of times forecasters will look out over the Pacific because you remember that weather generally moves from west to east, and as it does so, then we see the storm sort of coming in, and we look at the jet stream. Now, earlier this week, we had a very strong jet stream and several different storms out here in the Pacific. That led us to believe that we would have a relatively stormy pattern coming up here in the U.S., and sure enough, that has come to be the case. Let's take a look at the jet stream in motion now, and we'll be able to show you what's expected over the next few days. The Friday jet stream shows a little cool in the northeast. That's why we had a little bit of snow yesterday afternoon. Now, generally, dips in the jet stream indicate where there are storms on the map. And we have one storm out here in the plains and a bigger one now coming in to the west coast. And we see the trough here really digging in by Sunday. This, at this point, will be a very strong storm system working its way out into the plains. Now, Mike already showed you, as you see the jet stream heading from southwest to northeast, that's generally the area where we get the rain. So we'll expect some rain right through here. Meanwhile, when the jet stream lifts northward, warm air underneath it. So as soon as they get rid of the wet weather on the west coast, chances are they'll warm up. However, our trough stays right about where it is on Sunday, on Monday. So we'll have a slow-moving, strong storm system out here. Let's see how it looks. Our main storm on the west coast right now, we have a couple of little disturbances out there. They're just what we're going to call forerunners. But here's our main storm. Now that strong jet stream will bring it in a little bit farther to the south than the last storm system, which is all the way up over the Great Lakes. And as it works its way down through Texas and draws in some of the Gulf moisture, then we'll have everything we need. Strong jet stream, area of low pressure, a lot of moisture out there, and we should see a fair amount of rain and probably some strong storms as well. So this is how we use the jet stream to sort of predict what we'll expect. Let's see. Saturday, isolated strong storms out here in the plains. On Sunday, the red, and that's what we put on our maps to indicate where we could have very strong, maybe severe thunderstorms. And this is going to be a slow-moving storm system, so almost the same area likely to see the thunderstorms and the possibly severe weather Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that's, we'll get that indication of the trough